Hello, welcome. Today we are going to talk about idioms. Catch someone off guard could be verb-based. Catch, I need to use infinitive, to catch. Or it needs to be ing, it needs to be continuous. So, I caught him off guard. Catching someone off guard, I still have to use these in sentences. So understand how to use a noun. Use it like a noun. How to use a verb, how to use a preposition. So step 1, what's the meaning? Step 2, how do I use it? Step 3, practice speaking it. And you're more likely to remember these words, and this is what we would do for any vocabulary. It's just these phrases, these are more than one word that share one meaning. Now, this list I'm going to give you, it's 100 idioms. It's too many to learn. You don't need them all. I don't need them all. I just don't. This is not how English works. You don't need to memorize as many words as possible. There's too many words to learn, okay? So, guess what? Your best friend is the same for anything, a dictionary. Okay, so I will include in some notes these pictures for these vocabulary. I will also include some websites you can go to. So dictionary.com, thesaurus.com, also theidiom.com. It's an idiom dictionary. Okay, so you have to treat it like vocabulary. So understand how to use these words in a sentence and how to speak these words and what do they mean. So as we said, there's tons of idioms. There's lots and lots of idioms. You don't need them all. The beauty of English is that it's very flexible and that it allows some style. This is what I recommend. If you want to use idioms, pick an idiom that you like and that fits your situation. Because some of these idioms are for positive situations, some of these idioms are for negative situations. I would just find some idioms that you like. It's about style. Because this is not formal English. This is not how we speak formally. So this is all about your personal style. So pick a phrase that you like and then try to figure out how to use that phrase in your daily life. Because that's how we do it in English. I don't need to know what all these idioms are. I pick a small amount of idioms that I like, that fit my style or fit my situation, and those are the ones I use. So it would be useless, I think, to try to memorize 100 idioms. What I would do is read some idioms and find the ones that fit your style or that you like the sound of, because that's what it comes down to. We don't use these in a formal way, we use these in a casual way. So they really let you express your style, express your feeling. That's the whole point of these idioms. It's more than just a vocabulary word. It's a way of expressing emotion and situation in a simple phrase. Okay? Like a tough break. When we say a tough break, let's go back. So a tough break, it means, oh, I'm sorry, or I feel bad. It's a way to feel bad for someone, but putting it into a phrase. Like, instead of saying, oh, you didn't get a job, oh, I'm sorry. I don't have to say that. I can say, oh, that's a tough break, because I include emotion into this phrase. I'm telling you, oh, that's bad luck, too bad, it's not a big deal. So we got to understand that these idioms are used to express meaning and feeling. So because it's about feeling, you need to find the idioms that fit you. It would be silly to try to memorize all of these. And I don't use all of these either. It's not something that's necessary. So find ones that fit you, and those are the ones you can practice. Because remember, you're not going to remember them if you just write them down and try to memorize it. You need to find phrases that you will use in your daily life. That way you'll remember them, okay? Now, some of these are very common and that you'll use a lot, and some of these you might never use. So why do you need to know them? Now, for this one, like backroom deal, it just means a decision made private, back room, no one can see. Deal, we make an agreement. So that's it. We're trying to give a picture. Back room, away, secret, private. Deal, okay, we make a decision. So we're saying a decision that is made private, secret. But, I mean, do we need this? Unless you're making a backroom deal, okay. Unless you're making deals with other businesses that the public does not know about, secret deals, I mean, there's just no reason to know this phrase. So like I said, we need to find phrases that fit our job or fit our situation. Ballpark number is a guess. Oh, how much money did we make this month? Oh, I don't know yet. Okay, can you give me a ballpark figure? Can you give me a guess? Now, it just depends on your situation. Can I use these? That's why I say you need to find phrases that fit your life or fit your job. Otherwise, you just don't need it. It's the same like any vocabulary. So if we're going to treat this like vocabulary, that's one way. We can understand what the meaning is and how to put it in a sentence. But the other thing, what if I have a phrase? What if I have a phrase and I don't really understand the meaning? Okay? Let's take this one. Change of pace. So how can I try to understand this phrase without knowing what the meaning is? Like I said, we can go to the idiom.com. I can type in this phrase and I'll get the meaning. But let's say I don't have that. How can I try to guess the meaning of this idiom from the words alone? Remember, the definition is giving me a picture, okay? The definition is giving me a picture. I need to use that picture to understand the situation, okay? So, let's do this. It's nice to go on business trips because it's a change of pace. So you hear this phrase, change of pace. How do I try to understand what does it mean in this sentence? Remember, our situation, we need to understand the situation to understand the meaning. In English, definition is not meaning. Definition in our situation is meaning. So, I'm saying it's nice to go on business trips. Why? Because it's a change of pace. So what could change of pace mean? Let's look at definitions first to try to get a picture. So, change, we understand the meaning. Change is something that is different. But pace, what is pace? Well, if you look up the definition of pace, it's the normal speed at which we do something. The normal speed at which we do something. So pace is walking. This is my walking pace. This is how I walk all the time. That's what we mean by pace, okay? The speed or the way we do something every time. So I'm saying change of pace. So pace is not just speed of walking or speed of eating or speed of doing something. We have to take this picture and put it in our situation. So I'm not saying change of walking speed. I'm talking about pace of my life. I use it in a more general sense, okay? So I mean pace, my normal speed of doing something. In a more general sense, I can say the normal way I do anything, like routine or schedule. So that's what I'm talking about. I use a very specific definition and I need to apply it. I need to use it in a very general sense, okay? So this is why idioms are confusing, because you want to use definition to give you meaning, but there is no meaning from the definition. The definition is just giving you a picture. You need to add the meaning yourself. So we have to change the way we think about English. English is hard because it's not just definition. We call it figurative or symbolic, meaning our definitions aren't always the meaning. The definitions change the meaning depending on the sentence I put it in. So yes, pace can be speed of walking, but it's how I do anything. So how I do anything, well, I can call that routine or schedule. And I need to use it in the sentence because it doesn't have any meaning outside of the sentence. Because that's the point. Pace is how or speed of doing anything. Speed of walking, speed of eating, that's my pace. Okay? So I need to take that and put it into this situation. And then I can get more meaning. Because if I'm saying it's nice to go on business trips and I'm telling you why, the why is change of pace. I have to think about what could that mean in this situation. I don't go on business trips all the time. So that's why it's a change of my pace, change of my routine, change of my way of doing something. So this is the harder way to try to learn idioms because you really have to think about the situation. That's why I tell you, make it easy on yourself. Find some idioms that you like, that sound good to your ear, and that fit your situation, and then just focus on those idioms, okay? Because it's going to be confusing. We have to think about these things. Now, here's a very business idiom, purely for business. So, corner a market. Now, what do we mean by corner? Well, this is a corner, okay? The corner of a room, but remember, we're trying to think about what could this mean? How could this have meaning in my situation, okay? So Apple has cornered the market on MP3 players. What do I mean? Let's just even change it. Apple has cornered the market on phones. So let's take this phrase and try to understand it. What is a market? It's where we buy and sell things. So what do I mean by cornered? Well, we have to think about putting the market in a corner. Well, what does it mean when I put the market in a corner? Think about what does it mean when you put something in the corner. Let's say your kid is being very rude. You tell him to go stand in the corner. Or imagine pushing someone into a corner. What does it look like? Does it look like I'm controlling the person? Does it look like I'm going to attack the person? Well, that's the picture I'm trying to give you. Apple is attacking the phone market. Apple is controlling the phone market. So that's what we mean by corner. And that's why we say it can be I am cornered, meaning I am being controlled. So this is what I mean. It can be very hard to learn idioms just from looking at the words because you're going to get lost in definition. All idioms are used to create a picture in my mind, okay? All idioms are used to create a picture in my mind. So what we need to do is try to see the picture and then use that picture to understand my situation. Now this is a very easy one because we can imagine this very easily. It's very big picture. Cutthroat, throat is this part, cut throat. We can easily see that picture. But I'm not saying I'm going to kill you. That doesn't make sense. Let's say I put it this way. Sales. Sales is cutthroat, or sales is a cutthroat business. I'm not saying that if you go into sales, people are going to kill you. It's not literal. The definition is not the meaning. Remember the picture. What does it look like when I say this? We do this to mean I'm going to beat you, or I'm going to destroy you, or I'm going to win, you're going to lose. So we use this phrase to not tell you the definition, but to tell you the feeling. Sales is cutthroat. I'm saying that sales is very competitive, that people will try to win no matter what, that they will cut your throat to win, that they will try to kill you to win, not literally. Remember, it doesn't make sense. People are not killing each other to sell a car, okay? But that's the idea, the feeling that we're trying to give you. Idioms are less about definition. They're all about the feeling. That's why we use idioms. I want this picture because this picture gives you a lot of feeling, and that feeling gives you more understanding. There's one goal in English. How can I say something for you to understand with less words? And how can I say something in a different way than anybody else? That's pretty much every native speaker's goal. Every native speaker's goal is, how can I say the same thing in a different way? Or how can I give you more meaning with less words? Because cutthroat is a very scary image. That whole image is giving you a lot of feeling that you can put in this situation. So that's what we have to do. We have to open our minds a little bit. English has a lot of feeling in our words, and that's the whole point of an idiom. I'm giving you this picture so you have a deeper understanding and more feeling. Same thing. Now, this doesn't have to be business related, but I'm giving you a picture. Diamond. We all know what a diamond is. Very shiny stone in our ring. Now, diamond in the rough. Rough means not clean or not smooth. Okay? So imagine a diamond before the ring. A diamond before we use it. So what we're saying is someone that has potential or something that has potential. Like a diamond in the rough would be, I can see how good you are inside, but your outside does not show it yet. So that's what we're trying to say. Diamond in the rough. We're saying on the outside it does not look like a diamond, but it is a diamond on the inside. We just need to bring it out. We're trying to use pictures to understand this. Now, here's the thing. I can say, he is a diamond in the rough, meaning in the future he will be really great. But right now it's hard to see the great inside of him. So it's the whole point is I don't want to say all those sentences. Why did you hire him? I hired him because he's young. He looks like he will work hard. He doesn't have much experience. But I think if we give him a chance, he will be successful. Now, all of those words, all of those sentences I can say with just one phrase. He is a diamond in the rough. All of those feelings, all of those words, we can apply to one phrase and then have complete meaning. So idioms are powerful and they're common because of this reason. They're common for native speakers because of this reason, because they give us a lot of meaning in one picture. But it's also why it's so difficult to try to understand if you don't know what these phrases mean. Now, this is a little simpler. Easy come, easy go. Even something like a simple phrase like this can be difficult to understand if we don't put it in a situation. So, I can say, easy come, easy go, meaning something that we get easy, that we don't work hard for, it's easy to lose. Okay? So let's say this. I give you $20 every week. $20. Excuse me, $20 every week. But then I stop giving you $20. That's what we mean. Easy come because you don't do anything to get that $20. You don't work to do those $20. I just give it to you. So if I stop giving it to you, you have no way to get that $20 because it's not based on any hard work. Now, if you work every day, I have to pay you for your work. So that's what we mean by easy come, easy go. If it's something easy, it's easy to disappear. If you don't work for it, it's going to disappear very easily. These simple phrases are designed to give complicated situations an easy phrase. Complicated feelings, an easy phrase. Now, this is what I would recommend for anybody trying to learn idioms. Like I said, pick idioms that sound good to you because that's how I do it. That's how any native speaker does it. I say easy come, easy go because I like the phrase. The phrase sounds good and it fits the meaning I'm trying to give. So that's how I would recommend it. Now, some of these are going to be easier to guess, and some of these are going to be harder to guess. So how can we do this? This is what I recommend. I just had some websites that we're going to talk about when learning idioms. So remember, idioms are like vocabulary, but they have special meaning, and that's why they're difficult. So we got to use tools to help us learn, like any vocabulary. I'm going to tell you right now, most students think that you can learn some words and then you're done. But even native speakers, I have to use a dictionary all the time. I have to use a dictionary all the time. There are hundreds and thousands of words in English. I cannot know them all, okay? It's impossible. Every native speaker uses a dictionary all the time. It's impossible. You cannot get away from it. So learning words in English, it never ends. I learn words every day. You have no choice, okay? So dictionary, you have to use it. You got to use it. You have no choice. I have to use it. I have no choice. So dictionary and thesaurus, I highly recommend. What do they do? Well, dictionary, you know. Thesaurus, it tells us synonyms, so words that mean the same. You need to use these websites or these books all the time. Let me introduce another tool for you, because idioms you will not find in a dictionary. Idioms are not in the thesaurus. Because remember, idioms have special meaning. The words, the definitions do not give us the meaning. The phrase gives us the meaning. So there's a website we can use called theidioms.com, and it's an idiom dictionary. So I highly recommend that we try to use this because, like I said, trying to figure out what an idiom means just from the words alone can be very difficult, even for a native speaker, because they're giving us a picture. But if I don't understand where the phrase comes from, it's hard to understand the picture, okay? Remember, picture to give me meaning. So I highly recommend this. You can use this by looking up idioms by topic. So remember, there are hundreds of idioms. You don't need to know them all. Pick idioms that fit your life, okay? Pick idioms that you like to talk about. If you talk about business, then we can use business idioms, but it doesn't have to just be that. What if you have kids and you want idioms for kids or anything? It's all about the topic. Idioms, remember, are about a picture. Idioms are about feeling. So we need to be based on what we're trying to talk about, okay? So you can search for idioms this way. Now, or you can search it per idiom. So like we said here, we talked about easy come, easy go. Well, if someone says this to you, if you look up easy come, dictionary, easy go, it doesn't make any sense. So I recommend you use the idiom. So what does it do? It gives you, you can search the phrase, okay? Let's take a look. I'll show you. So I type it in, easy come, easy go. It gives me phrases that are related to easy, okay? There are many idioms that share similar meaning, but there's the one I want. So there it goes. It gives you different words, meanings, and synonyms, and then most importantly, sentences. Remember, all these idioms we need to use in a sentence. We need to use these in sentences correctly, okay? So how do I use these? This is your most important part. Now, how can I use this? It's almost always easy come, easy go is a response. Like yes or no. Easy come, easy go, okay? It's a response to someone's feeling. Now, the reason I like this website a lot is it can give you the origin. Where does this idiom come from? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's interesting but not necessary. Because even for me, I don't know where these idioms come from. Many idioms come from hundreds of years ago for situations that don't exist anymore. Even this one. It's a phrase that came from the 1600s. It just is. This phrase exists because it has existed before. You don't need to know why. I don't need to know why. Idioms are from circumstance. They're from culture, so you don't need to know this. What you need to know is two things. What does it mean? How do I use it? What does it mean? How do I use it? Treat it like any other vocabulary. That's all this is. These phrases are vocabulary. It's just they have special feelings, they have special meanings. Okay? So that's how we need to use it. So meaning and how. Meaning and how. And like we said, there are hundreds of idioms, just like there are hundreds of vocabulary words. There's 139 pages of this. It never ends. This is my point. Find ones that fit your life. Find ones that fit your situation, because you don't need them all. You really don't, okay? So you can just pick something that fits your needs, and then pick idioms that you want to use, okay? So these are idioms that contain the word business, and these are idioms that talk about business. High roller, slow day. These are all common idioms, okay? So this is what we're talking about. Meaning and example, you need to use these. Speak them as well. 3 different times for you to remember them, but pick ones that you're going to use. This is the same for any vocabulary. I tell students all the time, you need to learn words that you will use every day. Otherwise, there's no point. You will forget them. I read an article about science. I look up a word because I don't understand a science word. But I don't remember that word because I don't use it every day. Pick words, pick idioms that you will use every day. Pick idioms that fit your life. Otherwise, there's no point. You're never going to remember them, okay? So, this is what I recommend. And even for me, I have to look up phrases too. But what you want to do is find one that fits your life, okay? So, a penny saved is a penny earned. These are just advice sayings. So, it's up to you. Find a topic that fits your life. Find an idiom that fits your situation, and then start there. Like I said, there's 100 idioms in my list, but you're not going to use them all. You don't need them all, okay? Pick a handful. I need a positive idiom. I need a negative idiom, okay? I need an idiom to show that I'm excited. I need an idiom to show that I'm disappointed. Remember, idioms are based in feeling, so find a feeling, find a situation, and then pick your idiom. And if you don't want to use idioms, that's fine too. And if you just want to learn and look them up, I would highly recommend the idioms, just because it has them listed like a dictionary, okay? So I'm going to include in the notes, you can have this list of idioms. I'll include these websites in the notes too. I encourage you to look at them. This is my advice. Vocabulary can be very overwhelming. It can be very stressful because there's so many words. But what you have to understand is no one knows all the words. No one will ever know all the words, okay? You just know the words that you use, and that's good enough. And then if you hear a word you don't know, you look it up. And that's every native speaker's life. That's every English user's life. As long as you use the language, you are constantly going to have to learn new words. Sometimes you learn the word for now. I just need it for this article. I just need it for this moment. And then I forget the word. Then that's fine. I forget more words than you'll ever learn. It does not matter. Use it for the situation and then it's done. And then find the words that you need for everyday life. And then those you will remember. But don't be afraid to use these tools. This is a fact, okay? Learning English never ends. It never ends. I'm a lifelong learner. I learn every day, even though I speak English natively. And I've been formally learning it for many years. It doesn't end. I still have to use these tools. So that means you have to use these tools. And that's what I want you to encourage you to do. It's not a game that has an end. Okay? We're not trying to race to the end. That's impossible. Okay? Focus on the moment that you're in. Focus on the situation that you're in and try to find words that fit those situations. And then words that you like, you will remember. Same with idioms. Idioms, the ones I remember are the ones I like, sound good to my ear, or they make sense to my brain. Those are the ones I remember, those are the ones I use, okay? And like I said, many of these idioms, they say business, but they can be used for everyday life. So that's what I would encourage you to do. You have to think of these as vocabulary words and treat them like vocabulary words. And then it becomes much easier. Because like we said, if we're trying to guess the meaning, even for me, it can be quite difficult, okay? Try to get the picture, understand the situation. We'll do one more to try to understand, and then we'll wrap it up. So, get something off the ground. It's giving me a picture. I'm picking something up off the ground, but I have to use it in my situation. If I'm talking about business, I want to get my coffee shop off the ground. It means I'm trying to make it work. I'm getting it running. I'm starting it. Okay? And that's why it's difficult, because I'm using this picture in my situation. The picture alone doesn't have the meaning. The definition alone does not have the meaning. Definition gives me picture. Picture in my situation gives me meaning. Okay? So, don't worry about memorizing. Focus on situation and treat it like vocabulary. Meaning, how do I use it? Meaning, how do I use it? And then memorize it that way. I know idioms are hard, I know vocabulary is hard, but that's what you really need to do. Focus on words, focus on idioms that you use every day, and then you'll remember them. Okay, take your time, go through these idioms on your own, use these websites to try to help you understand, and then if you have any questions, you can always ask me, how do I use these? But any vocabulary, you always need to ask yourself, how can I use this word? How can I use this phrase? Okay, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, please let us know. And if you have any comments, let me know as well. All right, this is talking about idioms and vocabulary. And if you have any questions, please ask. All right, have a good day.